Hello guys, kindly check this application out. When I say submit, now it gives me error message and say email is required, password is required, agreement is required. Now let's put some values there. Good do. Let's put a password there and agree. Then we say yes, submit. Submit. We can see the data over here. So let's develop this using React hooks and Tailwind using the React hook form. If you want to type along with me, kindly install the following. 1. npm install Tailwindcss/forms, and 2. npm install React hook form. Now with the Tailwind CSS forms, after installing, let me just do something quick. After installing, let's go to the Tailwind CSS/forms. Let's get to npm get this one. Good. Now over here, after the installation, okay, after you installing it, you go to the plugins. So you copy that copy that, then you go to your tailwind.config.js, then the plugin you paste the require here. You can see mine is here, so you paste yours to there. Then after that, you can begin. It's all said and done. Let's begin. Thank you very much. Let's begin by creating two folders in our SRC folder. Call the first one assets, then call the second one components. Good. Now let's take the first one, assets. Now in this application we have no images or spinners, so we leave it blank. Move to the second one, components. Components, let's create a file and call it sign in app.js. So it's our RAFCE. Create our boilerplate instead of ordinary div. Why don't we make it React.fragment? So we say React.fragment. Good. So inside that, let's have a section. Then inside we can have our div now. That says what? Hello. Let's link that to the app.js to view on the screen. So we go to app.js and call sign in app. We import it. So we say import what sign. Good. From where? From components. From. Good. So that is that. Good. Now what next? Let's check our screen if we got hello on the screen. Good, great. We got hello on the screen, means we're ready to go. So let's reposition things since it's mobile first. Good. Let's close the app.js. Good. Now we're ready to go. Good. So to begin, let's take the div off and create a form. Okay. So we say form, then inside the form we can now have a div. Good. A div which you give it a class name. Class name. Good. Let's give it bg blue 50. Then what? Let's give it width. Let's give it width. Let's give it auto. Then let's give it height. Let's give it what? 96. Good. Now let's give some margin. So we say over here we can say mx. Let's give it 5. Good. Then let's give margin tab to mt. Let's give 20. Good. So what next? Now let's create the header. Okay, should we say let's create a class name, then we give it width. Let's give it bg. Let's give it bg blue 200. And let's give it width full, and the height, let's give it 14. Good. What next? So that is that. Let's put in our p tag. Good. Then we say sign in. Good. app. Good. So we can give it a class name. Let's say uppercase. Then let's make it centered. So we say flex. And what items center. Then what again? Justify center. Good. What again? Let's make it font semi bold. Then what again? Let's give it test. Increase the size. Let's give it 2SO. Good. I think that is cool now. Okay, let's make it bolder. Let's make it bold. Let's see. Good, better. Good. Now next thing to do is to come to the body, where we're gonna work on the form itself. So we for header. Now we're going to the next one. We say body. So with the body, what do we need? Let's create a div. So inside a div, let's create another div. Then we can call the header the body. Good. Over here we need an input tag. Okay. So we say input. Then inside the input tag we need two things. We need a type called what? Email. Good. Let's give it some width. So let's give it the width here, class name. So let me bring everything down here. Good. So I use a class name, we say width, let's take full. Then make it rounded LG, and give it height, let's give it 14. Good. What next? I think that is okay. You can give it test. You can give it Excel. Now see placeholder. Okay, we need a placeholder. So we say placeholder. Inside that we can say what? Email. Good. Yeah. So what next? Guys? Maybe let's make it enter your email. Enter your email. Good. Yes, that is that, right? Good. Let's create a column for the error. So we say over here we can create a p tag here. Good. There we can say error. Good. Let's give it class name. Okay, that will come later. So let's give it error. So that is that. So inside div, this whole div is for what's the name? Is for email. So let's create another one for password. Okay. So we come here and we say password section. And we paste it there. There. So we just change it to password. Enter your password. And with the same. Now let's give it some margin, space, some margin here, so we can do that. And common div, okay. So we can say class name here. Class name equals, let's say, space y. Let's give it 4. Let's check that out. Good. Okay, so that's okay. So let's create another one for the agreement. Okay, this is where we stopped. Okay, so we'll create another one here. Copy this, and we'll create another one for agreement. So this place is going to be agreement section. So we have our div input is going to be what? Checkbox. Then it has what? Value. Okay, so we say value, and inside that we say yes. Then what again? Okay, we don't need this class name. Let's take this off. Good. What else? Good. Now with the checkbox, we need a writing here. Okay, so let's create another div for the the input. So we cut it and we create another div. So we say now we can put the input, then we can add our p tag for the agreement. P tag, then we say I accept the terms and conditions. Good. So let's flex it. Okay. So back, let's okay. Good. Let's flex it now. So let's class name we say flex. Then justify center. Then items center. Let's give it some what do you call it? Oh, so let's give it items center. Justify is going to start. Okay. Start. Good. Very good. Now let's space it. So we say space x. Here we can say space x. Let's give it 3. Good. Then what else? I think that is okay for now. Let's move to the button. So we go to the button. So we say copy here. Okay. Move down. And then we say button section. So over here we can say button section. So what do we do here? Okay, we need a button. Okay, so checkbox type is going to be what? Submit. Then value is going to be submit. Then what again? Yeah, the rest can come later. Let's take the arrow off. Good. Then justify is now what do you mean? Justify is now going to be what? Center. Then what again? The p tag, let's take it off. Good. We have our submit. And let's give the class name and bring it down. Okay. So class name, let's give it py. Let's give it py1 and what? Px. Let's give it 4. Let's make it 5 and give it some background color. BG. Let's give it gray 500. Rounded. rounded LG. Then what again? Text white. Good. Font bold. The font is too small. The font bold. Okay, what again? Bryce, what again? No, next let's increase the size of between the header and the first inputs. Okay. PT, no, MT, let's give it 5. I think that's okay. How about let's give padding for everything. It's too close. So let's see about some padding here in the form, right? Okay, so this is the form. Let's go to the body. So the body space here, we can say px. Yes, let's give it 5. Good. Or better say px10. Let's see. Okay, good. I think that's okay. So that is that. Our form is finally ready. Now, next thing to do now is to go to React hook form. Okay, so we go to Google, go to React what? Hook form. Good. So inside that, we go to the form, then we go to get started. Now we look at the npm install React hook form. Okay, we've done that already. So now let's import it. So we copy import, then we go import it. Okay, good. So that is that. Let's go back. What else do we copy? Good. The register and to handle the event. So we copy that too. Then we paste. So we can say handle form event. Okay, we'll paste that. Oh, sorry, I didn't copy. Let me go back and copy it. Okay, and that is that. Good. So that is that. Now let's go back to the form again. There, this one again there. Next one is to handle on submit. Okay, so let's copy that too. So we say handle submit. So let's say here handle submit. Okay, so we copy that. Then it's console log data, but let's make it alerts. Okay, alert into bracket JSON dot stringify into bracket data. Okay, so let's alert the data. Why is this red? What's missing? Okay, another bracket. Good. So that is that JSON.stringify data. We want to alert it. Okay. So that is that for the on submit. Now how about the form? Let's go check it out. Now the form, I get this it. Let's copy that too. Copy it and paste it nicely. Good. So our form. Good. So our form 2 is ready. So let's check it out. So here when I say, good, you can see it has elected the empty data. Okay. Let's work on our inputs. So let's go back to the, what's the name, the docs, and let's look at the inputs. The inputs, it gives you the example. Okay, so let's copy the example. So over here, this input tag, let's copy that and go to email. Then email, we come here, then we paste it. Okay, so register is example required. So we make here, give it the name what, email. So required true. So true, let's give it an error message. So we say what's the name, email is required. So that is that. Let's do likewise for the password. Okay, so we can copy that, then we go to password, paste that, then we say email, and we say here is going to be password, and the message is going to be what, password, so password is required. Okay, so that is that. Let's do for checkbox. So here let's copy the next one for checkbox. So we copy that too and handle the checkbox. So over here, the checkbox, you type the value, class name. So over here, let's add the register. So it's going to be what? The checkbox, what's the name? Let's give it agreement. So we say agreement is required. Good. So what else? Yeah, that is there. Now we can start with the error. Good. Now let's go back and okay, let's go to the error, example error. Let's copy that too. We copy that, then we come to sample error. Let's start from the beginning. Get the error. Let's take the email error. Let's paste it there. So it says errors dot email. Oh, sorry guys. Email. And span. Let's make this error dynamic. Okay. So we can make it dynamic. Then we say errors dot email dot message. Okay, so that is that. Let's give it some class name. Let's say class name. Let's give it test. Let's say SM, then test red 500. How about that? Let's check it out. Okay, so when I submit, you see the email is required. Okay, so we can do likewise for password and the checkbox. So let's do that. So we can just copy for the password too. We come to password where the error is. We just paste it there. Then we change it email to password. So say password. The errors dot password. Okay, so that is that. Likewise, let's do for the agreement. So error, we paste it there. Good. So errors dot agreement. Then errors dot agreement. Then that is that. What else? Let's check it out. So that is that. When you say submit, so I say it displays the error messages. So we can now fill in would do micro projects with password. Then what? Say submit. So when you submit, it gives you the email, the password, the agreement. It says yes. So that is responsive. Then I think we're good to go. So when you make it bigger, this is what we have. So to make that responsive, let's go to our form. Okay. So at the div, at the first div, we can say as the mother div, so we can say md. So we can say md at medium screen. Let's give it width 4/5. Then md, let's give it mx. Let's make it auto. Then at large screen, we say lg large screen. Let's make it width 3/5. Then the same lg, let's make it with what mx auto. So good, let's make small screen too. So we say xm at sm, let's say width, let's make it full. So we can say APP is ready. Maybe it's too big. Let's make it the large screen. We can make it 2/5. Good. Yeah, something like this. So guys, thank you so much for sticking through. Catch you in the next one.